Hello, everyone. Welcome to Game Glimpse, the series where I review and explore a diverse range of games, from indie gems to big budget hits. Each episode will dive into the gameplay, story, and design to uncover what makes a game unique and worth your time. Today, we're diving into The Crush House, an indie game where you play as a producer for a reality dating show. This game was recently released, and as of this recording, is sitting at 75% mostly positive on Steam. It is developed by Nero and published by Devolver Digital, yes, which has published games like Cult of the Lamb, Children of the Sun, etc. Starting off, your eye is immediately drawn to the stunning visuals and unique character design. The Steam description describes the game as a 1999 reality show, and it's definitely present here. There's a wide range of colors, which gives a very cozy and cheery feeling, which is great, especially when you consider a dating house can end up very chaotic, and as a producer, it's your job to capture it all on camera. Speaking of which, you play as Jay, a producer hired by the network after something didn't really work out with their last producer. Your job is to pick a cast, film them, and keep the show from getting canceled. There are 12 potential cast members, but you're only allowed to pick four. Each has a short description about them, along with their likes, dislikes. Gives you enough for you to have a general idea of what the characters are like and how they'll interact with each other, but you really never know until you them. So feel free to pick anyone that catches your eye. But while you're picking your cast members, you're also being onboarded by your production assistant, who immediately contacts you like the moment you enter the game. Like, get off the elevator, boom, assistant's right there. And your assistant has two rules for you to follow. One, don't talk to the talent. Two, the audience is always right, which is very prevalent when we start talking about the gameplay, right? But as you're like going through your onboarding, I had this like weird feeling that something else was going on. It You could tell from like the visuals from when you entered like the producer's office, like there's a bunch of footprints on the floor. There's like this propaganda going on with the walls, like on the posters. You just get the feeling like there's something more to this reality TV show. But just as quickly as I got those suspicions, they were quickly thrown out the window when my production assistant was like, grab this camera, let's go meet the cast. And I was like, okay, I guess we're just going to dive right in. Your main goal as the producer is to keep the show running. And the way you do that is to keep your audiences happy. Every day you'll get a batch of new audiences that have different requirements for them to be satisfied. You'll need to film the crew and the house according to the audience wishes. Oftentimes, you'll find yourself ignoring the crew and just filming some random object like this black painting or this giant slide that just happens to be there. And somehow, some way, the audience will just be like, "Yay, we like this." And I'm like, "All right, cool. If you're happy, I'm happy." But and then sometimes you'll have audiences that contradict each other. They'll have like I don't want to get into the details of what audience is what because I want you to experience that for yourself. But sometimes it makes it difficult when you have two different audiences that like two different things, which does bring the difficulty up a bit. But you just got to be creative in how you film everything that's going on. Luckily, there are gameplay mechanics to offset this. There's On Fire, where you're filming a scene that satisfies three or more audiences. Your screen will have this visual effect to indicate that you're doing this. And it really does help because it gives you a nice boost to all of the affected audiences. And then there's the second one. I don't think this has an official name off the top of my head, but when you finish satisfying an audience, if you film a scene that makes the audience happy, they gives a boost to all the other audiences that aren't filled. It's a good catch up mechanic, and it's very very helpful in those very last moments. In addition to filming, there's also ads that will give you money. These ads are used to buy props for your cast to interact with. But the caveat is every time you run an ad, the value of that ad decreases the more you run it. So you'll receive less money for it, but that's fine. During my playthrough, I didn't really run a lot of ads. I was running from location to location, filming the crew. So I really didn't take the time to run an ad. And I, at the end of the day, with like 300-400 bucks at a time. So I wasn't really able to like buy many props. I would buy like one or two a season. And it was enough because they would interact with that one prop for like one day, barely sometimes. And then that would be it. After you're done filming, you can go check out all your stats for the day at your terminal in your producer room. It has a whole bunch of stats for you to look at: number of viewers, money you made through ads, happiest audience, least happiest audience. And it's really good to see, some numbers up there. I didn't really think it was really useful for how I would improve my gameplay per se, but it was nice to see. After all that, you can go buy your props, walk around the house at night, and during this downtime, you may run into some of the cast members. You can talk to them, breaking rule number one, and you'll have some nice dialogue with them. Those give you some small talk and then eventually ask you for a favor. It's your choice whether or not you want to take the favor, but that gives you a task, which is the next portion of gameplay. And then that task is very mundane. It would be film X character doing X, Y, or Z, or film this object for an arbitrary amount of time. Something simple. Um, I was I managed to do like 2 to 3. I ignored like the first few that I got, and sometimes the cast won't even attempt to do it their own the task that they try to they even try to complete for the season. Like one time, oh, I don't remember his name exactly. I'll probably put it on the screen, but he wanted to what make friends or flirt with people, and he just didn't do it. And I was like, okay, all right, you wasting my time. That's on you. That's not on me. Now, speaking of dialogue, the dialogue between the characters is hilarious, right? And definitely familiar, right? It's like that messy goodness you'll find in actual reality TV, like Love Island, The Ultimatum, shows like that. You'll get some sense of that here in this game. I had a lot of fun with the random fights and the really, really sudden hookups. They would just jump at you, and I'd be like, "Oh, we're doing this. All right then." You could definitely tell there was some research put into this, and I'm really happy that there was. Because honestly, I don't think I would have enjoyed this game if it was super simplified. Unfortunately, a lot of the dialogue is recycled between characters and scenes, um, though there are slight variations depending on the characters. Different characters will say a varied sentence to one another, which is fine. I can look past it because sometimes I miss dialogue between characters when I'm hopping from point A to point B. Also, you can't get every character filmed at the same time. There are multiple conversations happening while you're filming, so it's impossible to get everything filmed. Now, behind this fun, messy sim life, a story exists. I'm not going to spoil anything, but I'll give you my thoughts on the matter. I was really excited about the mystery that they presented to me, and I I was getting hyped up by the mystery, and I found myself wanting more. And then the ending, in my opinion, didn't live up to the same level of I guess hype as the mystery presented to me. But I do encourage you to try it. Try the mystery. Of course, I also should say you don't really get started until season 2. So you need to get past season 1 first, which is technically a glorified tutorial. But once you get to season 2, that's where you can start diving into the exact mystery that there is. It's very obvious in your face, so you can't miss it. With the game essentially explained to you, I feel like I need to share some more of my thoughts. Honestly, I like this game. I like it a lot. I played with some buddies on Discord and we had some laughs during my playthrough. But I do wish there were some extra features like footage playback for my recording of the day. I really would like to see, hey, how did it turn out? I like what is that game? That indie horror game where you could go, it's like content warning. Yeah, like that. You can go see the playback. I would like something, a feature like that going forward. Or a new house. The house that you're given is small. After season 1 and 2, it's like you've seen everything that's there. You know all the spots. It's just nothing new and exciting, I guess, besides the new audiences. And I would like a new location to spice things up. Also, some tuning when it comes to the audience themselves. Sometimes it's very difficult to figure out what the audience is asking for and to try to satisfy them with what you are given. The house, it has the props help quite a bit, but if you don't have enough money because you're constantly filming and you can't run ads, I think there needs to be some balance there. But those are, I guess, small in a sense, right? Because playing through each season is fun with like, especially with the 12 characters that they have. You can definitely have some very unique interactions, even though you might see the same dialogue options over and over again. But it's still fun nonetheless. The game is a great palate cleanser. When like your backlog gets overwhelming, you can just pop this game in every now and then, have a good 2 to 3 hours of just fun, fun, chaotic shenanigans. But overall, I do recommend this game for anyone to try. It's a nice summer drop. I really hope they expand on this idea, and I really look forward to the growth of this game. With that being said, this is my review of the Crush House, and I will see you guys later.